with over 1,300 worldwide locations. And by AT&T, the right choice.
You've been watching the World Series on CBS Sports, the home of baseball's biggest game. And the Minnesota Twins look to turn back the clock all the way to 1987. See you tomorrow.
These unofficial moments in our national pastime are brought to you by the official airline of Major League Baseball, United. Come fly the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
We like stars at night, sunny days, home run hitting and touchdown plays. We like the great outdoors and our Midwest style. The Twin Cities and a hometown smile. The time is now. The word is go. Look at Minnesota in CCO. Look at CCO. Look at Minnesota in CCO. Look at CCO.
The game is over, but our baseball coverage is just beginning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Good. Don and Colleen and our entire team will bring you the World Series coverage next on this World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news, plus some other news, including the fatal chopper crash that killed one of the pioneers of rock and roll in this country. Also, a St. Paul bank is being criticized by federal regulators. And in Florida, a huge jackpot is driving lotto ticket sales to new heights. We'll also have the numbers for Lotto Minnesota, but first, the game.
From WCCO Television, this is a special World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4.
WCCO-TV World Series front page, Twins in seventh heaven, and they're raising, well, they're happy out here.
And a Kirby hit derby. He hits the winning home run and steals some hits from the Braves.
And Jane explains. Reporter Caroline Lowe once again talks to Jane Fonda about the tomahawk chop, and Jane demonstrates why her version is not the chop, she says.
All these stories and reaction from the team as we begin with a big picture of fans, very happy fans, leaving the Metrodome tonight. Woo!
I'm going to tell you something. You would have to be in a coffin to not be absolutely thrilled with the game we just saw.
I needed this to revive myself.
I'm surprised you have a voice left, the way you scream.
I have screamed this whole evening, and that final, I tell you. There's a good thing it's only one more game. I don't think I could live through another one of these.
Pardon us for sounding like hometowners, but actually we're really baseball fans, and that was a great baseball game. And who we tell? We got all the bases covered for you tonight on reactions to the game. In fact, Mike Walsher will join us with the fans outside the dome, and there he is. Then Esme Murphy, she's live in her unusual place where people are watching the game. And Amy Marcellus and the crew monitoring the phones at the fan center. And you can call with your comments. The headline on the game, 330-2764. Let us know how you feel about this game.
Oh, if we couldn't already guess how you feel. Well, we're going to go down to the field to relive all the glorious moments from Mark Rosen. Mark, what do you say about a home run like that?
Colleen, I'll tell you what, I don't know of any kid in the world who hasn't dreamed of maybe hitting a World Series game-winning home run, but for 99% of us, the alarm clock goes off. We all realize it is a dream, but for Kirby Puckett, it became a reality tonight. And for a youngster who grew up in the projects in the south side of Chicago, a man who played ball the way it was meant to be played in the streets, and did it the hard way and earned his way to the spot. No one is enjoying it more than Kirby Puckett, who has meant more to the Minnesota Twins than any ball player I can remember. You think of the Minnesota Twins, whether you're talking to a 5-year-old or a 50-year-old, and the first person he'll think of, the first player, will be Kirby Puckett. And how do you top this? Well, they are going to have a 7th game tomorrow, and Jack Morris is itching to get out there already. Scott Erickson started tonight's game. The Twins wanted 5-6 good innings from him. They got that, but Scott Erickson also got some great defense as we look at our Gold Glove segment and the key plays of tonight's game. Scott Leah started at third base. and he is a converted shortstop. And look at the grab he made early in that one to prevent the Braves from really getting onto it. And how about Kirby Puckett in the field, going up against the plexiglass to rob Ron Gant of at least a double. This is what Kirby Puckett and how he made his mark as a young center fielder for the Twins. He may have lost a step, but he didn't lose any of that vertical leaping ability right there. Kirby Puckett making the catch at that point. Now elsewhere, on the base path, the Twins scored a run in the 5th inning without the benefit of a base hit. This is how they did it as their path of glory. The fans here still don't want to go home. They're listening to Bobby Cox right now. Dan Gladden steals second. The Twins wanted to take their aggressive base path to at least neutralize what Avery could do on the mound. Then Chuck Knobloch does his job, hits the ball to right field. Justice makes the catch, but Gladden easily tags and goes to third base. And Kirby Puckett, who else, does his job as well, hitting a fly ball to center field. Gant makes the catch, but that enables Gladden to score easily. The Twins scoring without the benefit of the hit. I mean, they had a lot of breaks early, and that was another one right there. Well, King of the Hill was, I guess, the relief pitching of the Minnesota Twins. Carl Willis, what a storybook he is. Striking out Dave Justice with the bases loaded to end a big threat. The Twins also got a big double play to get him out of one jam. And how about the throw that Brian Harper made as well, enabling the Twins to get out of a jam? Carl Willis, here's the double play. Greg Gagne getting out of a big jam at that point. As I mentioned, Brian Harper also threw out a runner in the top of the 12th inning when, for the first time in the entire World Series, which was also a big moment. Charlie Liebrandt came on, and I think the Twins were happy to see Alejandro Pena get out of there, and Charlie Liebrandt is no stranger to the Minnesota Twins. He gave up a lot of home runs in the games against the Twins earlier in the year. Last time out, he had trouble in the first inning, and tonight, well, Kirby Puckett didn't waste any time. The Twins had the opportunity with the meat of their order coming up, and Puckett did his job with a game-winning home run. And here we take that Atlanta Braves hat, but to no avail. So the Twins will have a very rested Jack Morris on the mound tomorrow, and Rick Aguilera, who did the job in relief, will be able to come back if needed as well. We're going to have some interviews a bit later as this Twins magic continues from the Metrodome. Don and Colleen?
All right, Mark, thank you very much. You know, when we had the pregame show, we talked about the decidedly subdued crowd that went into the Metrodome. They came out a completely different bunch of people. I guarantee you, if this is any judge of it, they don't want to go home out here.
They've been chanting Kirby, Kirby, Kirby for very good reason. I tell you, I could watch that home run again and again and again.
Well, let's talk to some of those things.
Let's go down to Mike Walter. He's standing right in the midst of them all.
That's right, Colleen and Don. Yes, the fans were a bit apprehensive. They were a little quiet when they went in this evening. It seemed that the Atlanta fans were a lot more fired up. They were showing off their tomahawks. But coming out, everybody is shouting, Kirby, Kirby, Kirby. And it's kind of a different scene here because the Native American protesters who've been here all evening have been acting this evening as kind of like cheerleaders for the Twins. They've been working the loudspeakers and the bullhorns, singing songs for the Twins and kind of firing up the fans as they exit with great enthusiasm, energy, and exuberance from the Metrodome ever since Kirby hit his big shot in the late innings. Let me bring in a couple of Twins fans real quick. What was it like when that shot went out?
It was just unbelievable. It seemed like the momentum was going back and forth during the whole game. But when Puckett hit that ball, and it wasn't out by that much, it went over the wall. Hunter went back to the wall, looked up, it was gone, and the place just went absolutely crazy.
Tomorrow night prediction.
We're going to win. Absolutely.
That's the spirit. Great energy, enthusiasm out here. You know, Esme Murphy's in a different part of downtown Minneapolis where some spirits have been hoping for a Twins win tonight. Esme?
Well, Mike, every year volunteers for the March of Dimes hold a haunted house and get people to come through here to raise money for birth defects. Well, not surprisingly, they didn't have a lot of clients tonight because everybody was watching the game. So earlier tonight, the spirits here watched the game as well. They watched. It was up and down, up and down. They looked, watched in their dressing room. They watched hope. When that shot went up to Ron Gant and they saw Kirby Puckett go up, they cheered. And yes, there it was, that miraculous shot getting cheers here at the haunted house. But the spirits didn't just start here tonight. They started earlier this evening with a rally at Biff and Hennepin.
300 fans rallied to rally their team. Some fans scrambled for styrofoam bats, billed as the Twins' reply to the styrofoam tomahawk that reigns in Atlanta.
But most fans seem to cling to their Homer Hankies. The bigger the better for these three Buffalo Lakes couples.
Oh, the Twins are going to win!
Are you nervous at all after what happened in Atlanta?
Oh, no. It's reminiscent of 87. We're going to come back and take them both.
This little fan bet the Twins' fortunes would turn around. One fan displayed a 1991 Twins World Series Wheaties box. In reality, an 87 box reworked. The hope of fans here is that the Twins could work the magic of 4 years ago.
Who do you think's going to win tonight?
Oh, the Twins, obviously. They're going to do it, I'm sure.
I'm sure you sound a little bit nervous.
No, I'm not nervous. The Twins are number one, and they always have been. They always will be.
Certainly exists here tonight at the Haunted House and throughout downtown Minneapolis. When Kirby Puckett hit that home run, you can hear people cheering all across this town. I understand Amy Marcellus has been hearing from some spirits back in the studio. Amy, back to you.
Well, Esme, we're feeling something different in the air here as well. For example, we got a call tonight from the king himself.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Oh, Bill, this is Elvis. I'm calling you from the Heaven Hotline. I just want you to know I'm from Memphis, but even though Atlanta's closer, I root for the Twins because Tom Kelly bought me some jelly donuts the other night. And I just want to say good luck, Minnesota. Twins are the greatest, and I like them because Kirby Puckett kind of talks like me. He kind of talks fast, you know what I'm saying? Blurs the sentences together, and I just want to say the Twins are going to win. See you later.
No, we didn't pay him to call either. Of course, that call from Elvis was probably the highlight of our calls of the evening. But we've noticed that fans are getting very creative and really putting a lot into their calls to us tonight. A lot of poems that they've written and even a song written by a 12-year-old St. Paul girl.
We're going to the major way. Stop those brains, we wanna win. Stop those brains, we wanna win. Stop them brains.
From the king of rock and roll to a little rapper, a local rapper. But we've also gotten a lot of calls throughout the week about the CBS announcers being what many of you think is biased towards the Braves. Anyway, now that the game is over, we'd like to hear your version of tomorrow morning's headlines. So you can still call us. Our operators are standing by on duty at 330-2764. Again, 330-2764. And we'll be back in about 20 minutes with some of your ideas for headlines tomorrow. Now back to Colleen and Don at the Dome.
Oh, brother. What a shot. What a shot. That's
a lot of
great.
fun. And they're still yelling Kirby in the background.
Yeah.
But all is not fun and light out here. At least 10 American Indian demonstrators were arrested this evening outside the Metrodome. They allegedly assaulted Atlanta Braves fans who were brandishing tomahawks and wearing Indian dress. 5 adults and 5 juveniles arrested. Police say they will be charged with disorderly conduct or assault. The Indians claim Braves fans threw beer on them first. The arrests follow a series of angry confrontations tonight between Indians and the tomahawk-chopping Braves fans. Now, reporter Caroline Lowe has once again cornered Jane Fonda about the chop. Did she or didn't she? Caroline, tell us what you found out tonight.
Well, Don, despite the continued controversy about Jane Fonda's role as a Braves fan, we found her in high spirits tonight as she entered the Dome for Game 6 of the World Series. When Jane Fonda and her fiancé Ted Turner were seen cheering the Braves on Wednesday night, a lot of people thought she had gone back on her promise to stop doing the controversial tomahawk chop. But when we caught up with Fonda tonight, she explained her unique way of supporting her team. Show us again what you did and what you're doing. And what is that?
I don't know, but it's a flat palm down. I guess it's sort of pat a cake. A chop is tomahawk-like.
We also asked her about the American Indian protesters' demands to change the Braves' name. After the series is over, you're going to talk to Ted about maybe changing the team's name?
It's not my business, and it's not. It was Braves when he bought it, and that's not something that I feel I can influence.
How do you feel about...
Personally, not going to do anything to affect.
Don, as I said, Jane was in high spirits when she went into the Dome tonight, but I suspect her spirits are a little bit deflated at this point.
social aspect.
I believe so. She seems, to her credit, she is caught in the middle of this controversy. She has to, of course, be a great fan of the team and to seem like a great supporter of the entire audience back there in Atlanta. Yet she is troubled, I think, by her own conscience now. Now, this is a look at some fans that have gathered all around the Twins who absolutely refuse to go home tonight. And you hear that chant, and you'll be hearing the chant throughout the next 24 hours. No doubt these people are going to stay up until the game 7 starts here at the Dome.
I think so. Well, we're going to take a break from baseball. We will be back, though. But first, let's go to the newsroom where Brad Good is standing by with some of the other day's news.
Thanks, Don and Colleen. It is hard to believe there is any other news to report tonight, but we do have some other stories that pass your way. There is a growing fear in this country as well as right here in the Twin Cities. It's the violence of hate crimes against gays and minorities. Today, a group of civil rights activists spent the afternoon discussing methods to combat the new wave of crime. Hate crimes jumped to the front pages after 2 gay men were shot and killed this past summer in Minneapolis parks, and after a black St. Paul family found a burning cross on its lawn 2 summers ago. Many advocate raising awareness by joining together and speaking out rather than hiding in fear, but some gay activists say police aren't doing their job.
But that the police let them go.
Activists today blame Twin City leaders for failing to make hate crimes a community priority. And a follow-up on a hate crime that happened back in the 1920s. You may remember our Dimension report on the mob lynching of 3 African Americans accused of rape, a rape that did not occur. Well, today in Duluth, a memorial service was held to remember the 3 men who were buried in graves marked only by small white posts. Now they have polished gravestones set in place. Duluth and its citizens decided to make up for the crime only recently when it was discovered the men were not buried in unmarked paupers' graves elsewhere. St. Paul's largest independent bank is now falling under criticism by federal bank regulators for being too aggressive in making commercial loans and too lax in supervising problem loans. American National Bank and Trust has entered into an agreement with regulators. It gives regulators more of a say on how the bank will operate. The bank's senior vice president for consumer banking says the bank is not in any danger of going under. Meantime, NSP is trying to do something the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has never allowed the owner of a nuclear plant to do, license a plant for more than 20 years. That's been considered a safe standard. The nuclear power plant at Monticello is one of 2 plants NSP runs. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission is considering that application now. Company officials say studies show the plant could safely extend its service beyond 20 years. A Minnesotan is among 4 people who died in a helicopter crash in North Dakota today. The military chopper went down when it was en route to pick up an injured man. Master Sergeant Gary Olson of Madison, Minnesota, was identified as the victim. He was stationed at the Grand Forks Air Force Base. A helicopter crash into power lines in Sonoma County, California, has killed 3 people, including one of the biggest promoters of rock and roll music in this country. Bill Graham was 60 years old. As a young man, he fled Nazi Germany for the U.S. He later managed such groups as Jefferson Airplane and Santana, and was one of Bob Dylan's promoters. Well, late last night, a welcome home for freed American hostage Jesse Turner. Turner arrived in his home state of Idaho and was taken to a huge rally at the Capitol. Turner had little to say after the event except thanks. Well, it's huge. In fact, it's bigger than huge. The jackpot for tonight's Florida Lotto drawing was $94 million. And as you can imagine, it was standing room only at lottery outlets throughout the state today. Floridians kept lottery machines humming at an alarming rate as tens of thousands of tickets were churned out per minute. Lotto officials say bad weather slowed ticket sales last night, but today, Lotto Mania returned despite the 14 million to 1 odds of winning. But who cares what the odds are, right? Incidentally, if you have a Lotto Minnesota ticket, the winning numbers are 20, 35, 13, 8, 1, and 29. Now let's go back to Don and Colleen out at the Metrodome, and you guys, let's talk about some other numbers like 4 to 3.
Yeah, like hitting the jackpot over center field.
Yeah.
Very, very well.
Terrific.
You know, one of the things that...
The crowd doesn't want to go home.
And they really don't have to. No. They don't have to at all. I think the game time starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow. A lot of these people, not a lot of them, but we recognize a few of these people left over from some of the people in Atlanta, the Twins fans who flew to Atlanta. They're still hanging around. They have a little extra, I think, a reason and incentive to sort of rub it in just a little bit tonight after withstanding all of that pressure down there. You know, a lot of great plays in tonight's game, and everybody's going to remember that last play of the game as that ball went over the left center fence. But there was one play that happened a little bit earlier in the game. You may have missed it, but you can't miss the significance when we show it to you. It was when Herbig tagged out Gant in the first inning at this play. Look at this. Oh, so gentle. That ballet dance gentleness. It was to maybe make up for that controversial sort of thing they called a wrestling match down there in Atlanta. And Herbig was called the cheater through all of those games down there in game 3, 4, and 5.
I hope they were paying attention down in Atlanta.
I hope they were, too. And I don't think that was designed to make up for it, but it really does show what kind of guy Herbig is.
He's a great guy, and that was a really funny play to watch. Well, coming up next on this Saturday night edition of the news, we're going to have a dose of Minnesota magic, if we haven't had enough already. And you're going to meet a man who works in Wisconsin and may be responsible for getting the Twins to where they are.
And we're still taking your calls on the fan phone. There's Bill Hudson. He'll be one of them, telling us all about Minnesota Magic tonight.
You're watching a special World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4.
Look at this car. Look at it again. Look at this offer. Look at it long enough to actually read it. Look what's parked in your driveway. Look at it again. Look both ways as you cross the street to your Subaru dealer. Wait, look at our logo first. See your Twin Cities Subaru dealer.
This town is sending more people to the 1992 Olympic Games than the U.S. and Russia combined. It's the home of Olsen Travel World. They rush out thousands of tickets to the Olympic Games by express mail guaranteed overnight service. Express mail picks up unlimited packages for one low charge, which saves Olsen money as they prepare America's other 1992 hopefuls.
Here we come.
Watch carefully. What you are about to see is fast, very fast. When the Pennzoil Special is racing at 230 miles per hour at Indy, its engine needs all the protection it can get. And that's what it gets with Pennzoil. The same straight-off-the-shelf Pennzoil quality that goes in your car. On the road or on the racetrack, nothing performs like Pennzoil, because nothing protects like Pennzoil.
Pennzoil, ever since America learned to drive.
Winter doesn't stand a chance. It's 4x4 month at your local Ford dealer. That means big savings on the Winter Tough 4-wheel drive Ford Ranger. Loaded with road-gripping 4-wheel drive traction. Standard anti-lock brakes. Ford's exclusive twin traction beam suspension for a great smooth ride. Plus, over $2,600 in winter savings. The Winter Tough 92 Ford Ranger. Winter doesn't stand a chance. See your local Northland Ford dealer now during 4x4 month.
The game let out. I don't think they plan on going home anytime soon.
There's absolutely no reason to. There is no reason to go home and stop celebrating at this moment.
Particularly if you have tickets to tomorrow night's game, you might as well just hang around.
That's right, because it is an afternoon start, so they can just pitch a 10 out.
Yeah.
We're going to throw it back now to Bill Hudson, who's standing by, and he has been throughout the series, to tell us about those magic Minnesota moments.
Well, Don, let me tell you, of all the screaming fans in the Dome tonight, I doubt anyone was any louder than Bob Lee of Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yes, he was here because he's part of the reason the Twins are here. As general manager of the Twins' Kenosha farm team, he sent more than a few players onto the big show.
I can't go out there, though.
When minor league general manager Bob Lee walks into the Metrodome, he doesn't look long to spot players or a coach from the past.
I got to bring some of that Kenosha magic back here.
Coach Ron Gardenhire managed Lee's Kenosha Twins back in '88, Lenny Webster was on that team, too.
Where are you at, Lenny? Right there. Right there's Lenny.
They reminisce about hitting in the old minor league park versus the Dome.
That ain't like Simmons Field, though. Simmons Field's not a hitter's ballpark.
No, it's not.
That's a tough park to get a home run in.
It is.
4 Twins players went from Kenosha to the majors. Bob Lee's still waiting for a free lunch.
Money belt off. I know you're not making any money, but I'll lend you some money now.
No, wait, I promise
You promised me.
I'm here. We go to Milwaukee next year. I'm calling you up. You come out for lunch.
All right. That's a promise? All right.
In '87, the Twins won the series, and the Kenosha Twins took the Midwest A-Ball title. Scott Leyes was Bob Lee's third baseman.
That was our 1987 championship right after the game. Scotty, do you see that picture right there? You know who that guy is?
Oh, that's in the last game we coached it.
That's right. That's right. And I just, they asked me to come back and I can't say enough about you guys playing ball in Kenosha.
So when Leyes launched the winning homer last Sunday, Bob Lee was cheering in the crowd.
You know what? I had a lump in my throat, you son of a gun. Sure. I mean that. Chuck, good to see you.
2 years ago, Bob Lee had Chuck Knobloch in a Kenosha uniform. What does he recall from his days in the minors?
No, I'm just kidding. We loved him.
No, I was always there for you guys.
He brought us beer after the game.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we're underage.
Yeah.
For Jarvis Brown, there was a big hug, but then it was time to head for his seats.
We're right up in section 226 about...
Bob Lee could watch the game tonight smiling like a proud papa. After all, it's just getting to the big show that counts.
They're here, and that to me is a great feeling that we were a part of it, our group in Kenosha. League champions, so.
And in case you're wondering, Bob Lee says he will bring that Kenosha Magic back tomorrow night for Game 7. Don, Colleen?
Thank you very much. You know, not only a big thanks to Bob Lee, but to Jim Rance and to Bob Gephardt, the great scouting team for the Twins who put together this fabulous club from out of absolutely nowhere. This team was not supposed to be here, but they built the team out of their farm system and out of great trades and acquisitions.
And a lot of people didn't think they were going to be here tomorrow as
You're
well.
exactly right.
So that's terrific. Well, there is something else that is magical about tonight.
Well, you're going to get an extra hour of sleep.
You can use it.
I'm not sure everybody is, but tonight you can turn your clock back an hour. Daylight saving time is over. Just remember, fall back, and the people partying after tonight's victory will benefit by this time warp.
Which car should I buy? Plymouth Acclaim. I need automatic. Plymouth Acclaim. Driver's airbag. Yes. A good warranty. You get a choice. Affordable. Less than $12,500. And air conditioning. At no charge. Plymouth Acclaim. Maybe a Plymouth Acclaim. Nice idea. Plymouth Acclaim. An intelligent machine. Go to a dealer. Go to a dealer. Go to a dealer. Go to a dealer.
To keep the winter out for years, the blackout wind and rain. To give you joy and light and pride, to comfort you again and again.
Anderson windows and patio doors do a beautiful job of standing up to the weather outside. But their real beauty is the way they make you feel inside.
Come home to quality, come home to Anderson.
A sudden illness just came over the Fuller family. For some families, that could be costly, but not for the Fullers, because they have the Gold Star Health Policy from American Family Insurance. With Gold Star, the Fullers only pay one family deductible per year.
Come on.
No matter how many family members there are.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you.
Soft as an easy chair.
Now I had the time of my life, and the
'cause I got a peaceful, easy feeling. Here we are, once again, but this time. Come on over, baby, hold on, shake on over.
And they were shaking Homer hankies, magic wands, and tomahawks in the dome tonight. And there was even a new item called a chop stopper. The big fingers that people often wave for saying we're number one were converted into fingers that wag at the Atlanta Braves fans doing their tomahawk chops. Well, what next? Hopefully a huge victory tomorrow.
That's
night.
the
What's
accusatory finger symbol.
Well, how can you top that?
I don't think you can. Now, as warm as it was inside, it's still a little chilling outside, but I think Twins fans are warm.
I don't think anyone quite feels it.
No, I don't think so. They're warm on the inside, certainly. And the weather for tomorrow will be a lot like tonight, maybe a few degrees warmer. But so far, it's been unusually cool, at least for this evening. In fact, our high temperature today only made it to 50 degrees. That was after a morning low temperature of 39, and those temperatures are actually pretty close to normal. So it's not atypical weather, I guess, for this time of year for baseball. We haven't had any precipitation, but there's been some drizzle around. And around here at the Metrodome, we have seen what would appear to be a few snow grains falling from time to time, but so far nothing officially at the airport. Currently outside, we do have cloudy skies. As of 11:30, it's 45 degrees, the dew point 42, and east wind at 9, and the barometer is rising right now at 30.1200 inches. Temperatures around the upper Midwest, well, they're still in the 30s up across northern Minnesota, mainly 40s around the rest of the state, and actually cloud cover has been hanging around here. They've had a few breaks in the clouds over in west central Wisconsin. That's why Eau Claire has dropped into the 30s. A lot of clouds right now around the state, even though this particular satellite picture doesn't pick up those clouds too well. We've got a cold front back in North Dakota. That cold front may not make it into Minnesota. Until then, temperatures will stay rather on the mild side. Temperatures will only drop off a couple of degrees tonight. And the next major storm to roll through here is the Twins tomorrow night. After that, it'll be a storm coming out of the Rockies. It's going to bring as much as 2 to 3 feet of snow into Montana tomorrow. And all that system is going to make its way into Minnesota by Monday, but it looks like it should be warm enough for rain then. Temperatures, meanwhile, tomorrow should be in the 50s, maybe some low 60s across southern Minnesota. Tonight, the forecast then, mostly cloudy, some fog, and some drizzle possible as well. 42 for low and an east-southeast wind at 5 to 15. And don't forget your clock. Becoming partly sunny, a little warmer tomorrow, 58 for the high, a southeast wind at 10 to 15. Then for tomorrow night, becoming cloudy and windy. Chance of rain developing late. We're looking for low temperature of about 50. And then on Monday, it'll be cloudy, rainy, and windy. Kind of an unusual day on Monday. 57 for a high. The extended outlook, the chance of rain Tuesday and Thursday. Highs will be in the 50s. Overnight lows near 40. So pretty mild weather. Nice weather for baseball, wouldn't you say?
Or perhaps a victory parade, or am I getting ahead of myself?
Well, we have a chance of rain. The parade would be on Tuesday. If we had it, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
Stop it.
We have a chance of rain on Tuesday, but it should end by Tuesday
jinx.
afternoon. Well, I'm just saying if.
Ah.
All right.
We could have snow on Tuesday. There's another thing.
Okay, good.
We've got some weird, there's some weird things going on in downtown Minneapolis, and we're going to go to Esme Murphy, who's right in the middle of it all. Esme?
Well, Colleen, there is a wild celebration going on in downtown Minneapolis. I'm standing at 5th Street and Hennepin Avenue. The celebrating from tonight's game has spilled onto the streets. Traffic is at an absolute standstill. You would think that the Twins already won the World Series instead of a 6 game. I can just imagine what it's going to be like when they win tomorrow night. Back to you.
Whoa. I tell you, they are excited in downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul, all around the state of Minnesota and this whole region tonight. Who wouldn't be? I guess if you were in Atlanta, you wouldn't be, but
I'm just
what a
starting to
great
calm down just a little bit.
Not me.
Now, I got to save up a little bit for tomorrow.
That's true. You can need some energy. I just about spent myself on that game. Well, that's going to end our World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news, but we will be back with a sports special on the Twins. We're going to have other sports, including prep sports football playoffs and college football results.
That's all coming up next here on Channel 4's Special Sports Report.
Yo, come on, move this. Shake that body.
eyeshadow and Revlon mascaras for eyes that wow 'em.
Hungry? Grab your Campbell's tomato soup. Make it hearty. Make it filling. Make it a meal. Campbell's tomato soup. Make it as hearty as you are hungry.
Campbell's Tomato and Healthy Request soups can be found at your neighborhood Super Value. Super Value is your convenient grocery store with 29 Twin City locations. Super Value. Let us be your grocery store.
If you're looking for a way to beat those old car blues, your Isuzu dealer's got the right Isuzu for you.
It's the right time for year-end savings on selected 91 Isuzu cars and trucks, like the roomy Isuzu Stylus XS, priced at up to $1,800 off during the Isuzu for You sale.
Info Stylus pickup trooper, rodeos too. Your Isuzu dealer's got the right Isuzu for you.
Save on a Stylus at your local Twin Cities Isuzu dealer.
By investing $650 million in pollution control equipment and burning low-sulfur coal in our power plants, NSP is playing a major role in guarding two of our most precious natural resources, clean air and clean water.
If you watched Brave owner Ted Turner's colorized version of the movie, the result of tonight's game is revealed.
Come in, Uncle Billy.
Tonight's sports special live from the Metrodome looks back at the event in the big bubble tonight.
And welcome back, everybody. We're going to hear from the fan phone again in just a bit, but first, Mark Rosen for what the players had to say about the game inside the Dome tonight. Mark?
Well, Don and Colleen, you're right. You know, actually, Ted Turner's biggest crime over the years wasn't owning the Atlanta Braves for all those miserable seasons. It was colorizing all those great classic films. But I think he's probably going to be dreaming, well, like maybe Friday the 13th, or maybe in this case Saturday night, bad dreams for Ted Turner after what he experienced and his Braves experienced tonight, on the verge of winning their first World Championship, at least the Braves, since 1957, I believe. They let it slip away as the Minnesota Twins have yet to lose a World Series game at home. And it was sort of a role reversal, actually, for the first time, because the Twins have been on top, comfortably leading their division and then winning, coming back to beat Toronto. They really have never been challenged. All of a sudden, their backs were firmly against the wall, as they say tonight. And the Atlanta Braves, in the unaccustomed role of being in charge, of being the lead, of having a game to win the World Series. But we talked about during our special tonight, I don't care if you're playing golf, playing tennis, whatever the sport is, that final out, the final serve, the final shot is always the toughest, and that's what the Atlanta Braves felt tonight. Kirby Puckett slumped, remember, in the American League Championship Series. He broke out of it, ended up being the MVP of the ALCS. Same thing happened going into tonight. As we look at some of the highlights, Kirby was 3 for 18 going into his first appearance here in the first inning. A triple down the left field line. Chuck Knobloch, certainly to be Rookie of the Year, scored on the play to give the Twins a 1-0 lead. Shane Mack was benched the other night in favor of Chili Davis, playing in right field. There was a gamble that did not pay off. He said Mack would be back, and he was in a big way. He busted his bat, breaking an 0 for 15 slump with that single to left. Kirby Puckett scoring, and the Twins were on top 2-0. But it wasn't easy. Here's the home run that tied it. Actually, this is the play that Puckett made in robbing Ron Gant of a double, at least. Kirby Puckett's name was mentioned throughout the game tonight. And what a play that was. Here's a man that tied it up. Terry Pendleton had 4 hits tonight. Pendleton, remember the horrors of playing here in '87 for the St. Louis Cardinals against the Twins. He was used mostly as a pinch hitter. He had some injury problems. As we look at the final scoreboard, Rick Aguilera pitched very effectively, and he should be available, if necessary, tomorrow night. There's the obvious loser, Charlie Leibrandt. It says it all. 3-3. What a tremendous baseball game, and what a night for Kirby Puckett, who described his feelings when he saw the ball go over that fence.
I couldn't believe it, man. I'll tell you, I feel like I've gone 15 rounds, like I said, downstairs with Evander Holyfield, man. It was so draining, and I was talking to Mark Lemke on second base, man, and he was just saying, Puck, I can't sleep at night. And I said, take a number, kid. I know how you feel. You know, I can't sleep at night either, man, but I'll get to sleep after tomorrow's game. But I tell you what, it's been a great series, and I'm just glad to just be a part of it. It's been great.
Yeah, I think Kirby said it all. There's a lot of mutual respect between these teams. Mark Lemke, he hasn't stopped hitting as well for the Atlanta Braves, and as exhausted, as exhilarating as these players are, it's hard to top what we saw again tonight. Well, what about that home run? In the words of Brian Harper and Carl Willis, how they couldn't believe it either.
It looked like it was kind of low, you know, so it was either going to hit the top of the fence or go over, you know, so it was, you know, it was just kind of questionable. I knew we had at least a double or a triple, you know, so I knew we were in good shape, and then the ball went over. It was pretty much pandemonium. It was gone.
Well, at first, personally, I didn't know if it was high enough or not. I knew it hit it hard, but, you know, once it went over the wall, I don't know what happened after that.
How much difference does it make playing it?
The big train, Carl Willis, doing the job in relief, and credit also should go to Brian Harper for throwing out a runner in the top of the 11th inning to prevent what would have been at least the possibility of a big inning for those Atlanta Braves. Now, tomorrow night, Jack Morris, and everyone now feels the Twins will have the advantage with his experience. He said he used to play wiffle ball with his brother, dreaming of perhaps a game like this in his backyard. Of course, he's pitched in the World Series before, but that was with the Detroit Tigers, not with the Minnesota Twins back in his hometown. His opponent tomorrow night, a man who's grown up idolizing Jack Morris in Detroit. His name is John Smoltz, and Smoltz talked about the dome field advantage after tonight's game.
Here, because you really have. Would you comment?
I think I agree with that. We're a little snake bitten by some of the balls we hit and by some of the balls they get, but you know, that's home field. That's what they play here for, and that's why they win as much as they do. But at the same time, the players do feel good about the hitting and the offense, and you know, I definitely feel pretty good about it, and I just, as a pitcher, I'm going to control my end and let them do their job.
John Smoltz, who will start for the Atlanta Braves. He started the season, I think he was 2-11 the first half, and started seeing a sports psychologist turn things around for the Braves in the second half of the season, was instrumental in beating the Pittsburgh Pirates in Game 7. They'll have another opportunity tomorrow night, but you have to feel that that big momentum has switched heavily towards the Minnesota Twins. But as we mentioned earlier, as Yogi Berra says, nothing is for sure in baseball. You don't know nothing, and that's what we'll find out tomorrow night when they'll throw that first ball out here back at the Metrodome. That's it from the Metrodome tonight, and now we'll go back to, I believe, R.J. Fritz in the studio. Right now, first we're going to go to Don and Colleen.
And then we're going to go to R.J. We just wanted to tell you that the man who gets the ball tomorrow for the Minnesota Twins, Jack Morris, just walked out to a round of enthusiastic applause from about 500, 600 people who are still standing here waiting for the players to come out. And you'll see that line there to the center right of your screen with the dome in the background. There's a line that a barricade has been set up, and the ball players are coming out from the dome. And there goes Jack as he heads out with some great fans next to him, and he will get the ball tomorrow, and this is his dream, of course, as Mark says.
Now it's up to Jack Morris.
You bet. And who else would you rather have with the ball starting Game 7 of the World Series for your team?
No one. He is it. Well, we're going to get some reaction now from people all around Minnesota who watch the game at home here on Channel 4.
Amy Marsalis is standing back there taking care of the fan phone center. What are the fans saying?
Well, they're still calling, Don and Colleen. When we started taking calls earlier tonight, the enthusiasm wasn't as high as it had been for the first 5 games. Of course, that's all changed now. Here's a sample of some of the excitement they're feeling at this hour.
Yeah, Twins win, yeah, Vertigo Twins, yeah. I knew our comeback kids could do it again. I knew it all along. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's all I've got to say is I knew they could do it. All we have to do is have faith in them. Faith, faith, faith.
Way to go, Kirby. We forgot everything you did before. Way to go, Twins. Let's do it all.
Do you think Shirley was excited? And we asked you to call in with your version of what the headlines should be tomorrow. Some of you had some very clever ideas.
Kirby Puckett just gave Atlanta a My-Lanta moment.
And I think tomorrow's headline should read, "Welcome back, Braves."
Tomorrow's paper's going to read 7-7.
Way to go, Puckett. Way to go, Twins.
Kirby gives Atlanta a My-Lanta moment. Well, of course, we'll be here for Game 7 tomorrow night, so keep that phone number handy, the fan phone line, 330-2476. That's it from here for tonight. Back to you, Don and Colleen.
All right, thanks, Amy. I have a feeling those phones are going to be ringing for quite a while. Well, we have the other sports of the day coming up next on our Prep Sports Report. That's all with R.J. Fritz coming up next.
And so we're going to end our baseball coverage for now, so thank you very much.
Wait. You know, I've noticed something. The folks who've been calling into our fan phone and other people who like to come on TV News say, you know, we really don't ever get the full picture. We tend to just give the headline.
Surface stuff.
Yeah. It's the fault of TV.
No. Well, callers have said that, and they have said that TV News doesn't give them the whole picture, the complete picture. Other callers say that baseball games always last too long. Is that the kind of call you think that we've been receiving?
Yeah, I think they say the action's just too slow.
And the action isn't fast enough altogether. Well, we have a way to solve that problem, I think, tonight, because to satisfy both parties, we're going to give you the game in its entirety, just a little faster than normal.
That's right, because on WCCO television, you won't miss a thing.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This is the new Pontiac Bonneville. Inspiring to the eye and to the touch. Even to your peace of mind. The all-new 92 Pontiac Bonneville. Under $20,000. A very low sticker price for a very high level of excitement. From your Pontiac excitement dealers, of course.
I thought you said we were going to a second-hand store.
This is a second-hand store.
It is?
This really is name brand stuff and cheap. So your mom was right.
This would be perfect for camping.
And how would you know? I love it. And only $6. Yeah.
I can't believe it. All this for only $40.
See? I told you so.
Buy more, spend less at Savers.
Have you ever wondered what happens to your children when you drop them off for child care?
Bye, Mom and Dad.
Well, Betsy's having a great time.
I wonder if she'll be okay.
Join today's WCCO television for an inside look at child care. Beginning Sunday in Dimension, we'll show you how 3 different child care services can work for families today. Join us for an inside look at child care in the 90s. Sunday at 10 on Channel 4.
Yes, good evening, everyone. The WCCO Television Sports Special does continue. We did have other sports. If you think we're going to try to play Top This with the Twins winning tonight, you have another guest coming. We do have professional hockey. The struggling North Stars are struggling no more. John Casey shut out Boston this afternoon, 4-0 at the Met Center. First goal, courtesy Ulf Dahlin, after a nice pass from Neil Broughton. I have a message to Norm Green. Nice new uniforms, Norm, but without vision like Superman, it is impossible to read the numbers. Green on a black background doesn't cut it. What a rush here. Jim Johnson with the North Stars on this play. End to end, it's a goal. Stars beat Boston 4-0 in the Met Center matinee. The Gophers in Mile High Denver, they get revenge 5-1 over Denver tonight. College football. Number 1, Florida State got a scare from LSU, then turned up the amps. Second-rated Miami tonight in the third leads Arizona 19-2. It was Washington, third-rated in the nation, a 29-20 winner over Oregon. Penn State, no problem with West Virginia. Nebraska rolls past Missouri. And it's California over San Jose State, no problem, 41-20. In South Bend, the Irish eyes are not smiling. They're laughing tonight. The Fighting Irish beat traditional rival USC 24-20. Jerome Bettis rushed for 131 yards in the first half, including this touchdown as Notre Dame reigns. 11th rated Iowa, a 10-point winner over Purdue today. It was 14th rated Ohio State beating Michigan State by 10. And we have Indiana a winner, and look at that surprise, Northwestern over 17th rated Illinois. That is a surprise, and it makes the season for the Wildcats. Locally, St. John's a big winner, so is St. Thomas, 27-3 over Augsburg. It was Hamlin by 2 over Gustavus. Concordia knocks off Bethel by a touchdown. Southwest State rolls, so does Moorhead State. It was St. Cloud State, a 45-0 shutout winner, and Mankato State, the victors by 3. And Minnesota beat Atlanta in another sport. In Aberdeen, South Dakota, the Timberwolves beat the Atlanta Hawks 121-106 in an exhibition game tonight. Well, we turn now to a tournament edition of our Prep Sports Report. The Section Football playoffs have reached the semifinals, and Section 4 AA, as always, is one of the toughest in the state. Mounds View puts its unbeaten record on the line against Forest Lake, and the Mustangs have problems. Eric Johnson fumbles, and in the pile-up, Forest Lake recovers. That set up a Ranger touchdown. John Toth, he's been Forest Lake's money back all year, earned his keep tonight, going 23 yards for a touchdown. Bruce Grant's Rangers advance to the section finals with that win tonight over Mounds View. 28-7 was the final. They'll play Anoka because all of these will be playing in the section finals. Anoka advances with a 41-28 win over Blaine. In Section 3 AA, it's Cretin-Derham Hall advancing to play Como Park, a 14-7 winner over Highland Park. They came and watched the Twins at Apple Valley, and they watched marvelous Marvin Sims turn it on against Egan. Sims going in for 6, a scoring machine he is. Apple Valley moves on and remains unbeaten with that win tonight over Egan. Chris Yedrick, 167 yards on 7 carries for Apple Valley, a 36 win. And Burnsville will be the opponent of Apple Valley, no problem, over the Jefferson Jaguars, 45-0. In 1 AA, Lakeville will be playing Faribault, both winners tonight. At Stillwater, surprising Henry Sibley made an appearance in the Section 2 AA semifinal. Sibley was on the march to tie it, but Joe Garabee fumbled. Stillwater recovered on the 3-yard line, still deep in their own territory, but not for long. Not when Brian Charchenko touches the ball, and he is hardly touched after he gets through the line. 91 yards. Boy, you dream about this in the offseason. It came through tonight. Stillwater wins it big, 41-13. But what a turnaround season for Dave Faust and his Henry Sibley gang there tonight. Other action, it was Woodbury over Hastings, so Woodbury will play Stillwater in the finals there. And in 8 AA, it's Elk River advancing to the finals against Wayzata, 28-14 winner. The crowd a bit down at Richfield. What could they be watching? Well, what they missed was quite a performance by Richfield quarterback Ryan Davis. He riddled the Minneapolis Edison defense all night, including this keeper off the veer. Richfield defeats Edison, and that's in 5 AA play. So Richfield will advance to play Washburn, a 12-7 winner over the Orioles from St. Louis Park. In 7A, Northern teams, Brainerd defeated Grand Rapids, and Cambridge beat Moorhead 38-3. So it'll be Brainerd against Cambridge there. There is only one team in Section 3A with a winning record, and that team is Totino Grace. And the Eagles are now marching on to the section finals thanks to the work of Mark Erickson, one of the section's top scorers and runners. He dented the Montemedi defense on a sweep, then took an off tackle the other direction and said goodbye to the Zephyrs. Erickson is the key for Totino Grace as they defeat Montemedi. So look out for the Eagles. Totino Grace in Section 3A will be meeting Columbia Heights, a 42-21 winner over Benilde St. Margaret's. In Section 1A, New Prague shuts out Stewartville. Farmington knocks off Prior Lake 27-6. In 5A, high school football playoffs, Foley over Sauk Rapids by a field goal. Spring Lake Park advances, defeating Fridley 44-13. Orono tried to bring their Spartans up a notch, taking on Hutchinson in Section 4A, but Hutch appears to be peaking right now. Eric Zeimer opened the scoring off the veer. Grady Rossberg, Tigers really roaring right now. Quarterback Corey Souter buys little time, finds his favorite target, Brian Brinkmeyer. He's been open all year. Hutchinson eliminates Orono on the shutout, 17-0, and they will take on Chaska, a 12-6 winner. They pack it in at Chaska these days with their Hawks upheld by #1 seed. Kurt Ramler goes deep to Chris Zerwanka here. He's behind the Delano defense. Chaska will meet Hutchinson, as we said, in the section finals. The Hawks, by the way, beat Hutchinson earlier this season, so Chaska will be favored in that final. In 2A, Worthington is a winner, 34-8. They'll play Marshall, a 6-0 shutout over LeSueur Henderson. In 6A, Dassel-Kacato losing at Albany, and Ricori Cold Spring defeats Sartell 35-0. Other action, Detroit Lakes is a winner, so is Fergus Falls. Those two teams will meet for the Class 8A. football championship. In 1B, Rochester Lourdes shuts out Byron. St. Charles over Pine Island down south, 35-10. Blake over St. Michael Albertville, 27-12. And Mankato Loyola, a 45-0 shutout over Medford. So that's the high school football action. Now, call it a friendly sibling rivalry. Call it a dream come true. Edina's Kelly McCarney met her youngest sister, Megan, in the finals of the Class AA girls tennis tournament today. Kelly is the senior and the favorite on the left here. Didn't have enough, though, for her younger sister. Megan, the sophomore, in the far court, continues to improve. She beat her older sister, 6-1, 6-2. The Moe sisters, of course, from Edina, also met in the finals once. Family tradition in tennis going on there in Edina. In the doubles finals, Eden Prairie's Amy Hendrickson took top honors there. That duo, just sophomores, rallied to beat Rochester John Marshall's Kim Lawrence and Brooke Anderson, 6-7, 6-love, 6-2. Quite a day for a pair of sophomores from Eden Prairie. And there's another sophomore that's made quite a name in tennis long before this season. St. Paul Academy's Gina Sue. Now, she entered looking for her third straight singles title today in Class A. She's only a sophomore. Now, Sue is rewriting the record books in the state. Her game right on top, complete now, and she has completed and dominated this game. She beat Kathleen Castello of Winona Cotter 6-2, 6-4. Sue was just an 8th grader when she won her first title, and barring injury, she could win 5 state championships before she even leaves St. Paul Academy. In the Class A doubles finals, Angie Fox and Lacey Hunter winning the title. Fox and Hunter coming up here in the far court, beat Angie Sampson and Tanya Nelson of New London Spicer. Final score there was 6-2, 6-3. Earlier this week, Blake won the team title in that category. And that is going to do it for our sports special. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for, yes, we have Vikings coverage coming up for you. And, of course, that thrilling Game 7. So stand by for all that action as we go to 7th Heaven. Right now, we're going to leave you with a little action from the Dome on this Saturday night, courtesy of our editor Allison Brown. Good night, everybody.
In the next 60 seconds, you could become a millionaire. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the official Lotto America drawing. Well, after making 2 lucky players millionaires, we have a guaranteed jackpot tonight of $2 million, and you can win it by correctly matching 6 of 54 numbers. Thanks for playing, and good luck. Here we go. The first ball is number 20, and 35, number 35. Next ball, 13, number 13. We're looking for 6 numbers in any order. There's 8, number 8. Remember, cash prizes for 4 and 5 correct numbers. 1, number 1. And 29 is the last ball, 29. And I hope those are your numbers. Let's find out. Number 20, 35, 13, number 8, number 1, and number 29. If there is no jackpot winner tonight, on Wednesday you'll be playing for an estimated $4 million. So good night and good luck from Lotto America.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol, the only leading motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Castrol GTX, available at all 40 big-wheel Rossi Auto Parts stores.
It is to radio what the Oscar is to movies. It is the Marconi Award, and this year the National Association of Broadcasters has chosen to present this prestigious award to a local radio station for being the best in America. You know this station for its excellent programming, personalities, and public service. There's a myth that a GMC truck is more expensive than Ford or Chev. Right now, a GMC truck may cost less. Can't save much on remaining 91 GMC trucks? Fact is, you can save thousands, including factory cash back. It's a myth that all the really good trucks have already been sold. We got extra 91s. There are hundreds in stock right now. Now's a great time to get a great deal? That's a fact. Now is a great time at your Viking Land GMC truck dealer.
Did this dirty dancing actor get too close to a dirty secret? Inside a Mysterious Death. Watch Inside Edition.
Monday night at 10:35 on Channel 4.
Today, WCCO.
The curve of a sleigh bed. The beauty of a porcelain vase. The country French collection from Ethan Allen. When a room looks like this, it's a pity to spend so much time in it with your eyes closed. Right now, there's a sale going on at your Ethan Allen Gallery. Dodge Dakota Club Cabs come with our powerful new Magnum Series engines, plus $750 cash back. And when you buy the Super LE model, also come with nearly $2,700 in options. A 4-speed automatic, air, and more for no extra charge. Dodge Dakota Club Cabs, a powerful way to rediscover American value.
Remember when we first began Dimension, you hear a lot of people say, including a lot of us, that we weren't too sure what it meant.
But after a while, Dimension took shape, and it made a lot of sense to our viewers and to us. Everyone's news tells you what happened. Dimension tells you why. Like my trip to the rainforest, or Don's to Romania.
Today, it's our way of trying to explain the news that affects everyone. So when you watch Dimension on Channel 4, you'll know there's something in it for you.
Today's WCCO television. You won't miss a thing.
This year, thousands of Minnesotans will face winter without a coat to stay warm. But you can help.
Hi, I'm Don Shelby. And I'm Prue Richardson. Join Channel 4 and Minnesota Timberwolves in helping those in need. Just drop off a coat at the Target Center main lobby before the game November 6th with Dallas. If you donate a coat, you will receive a certificate that's worth $3 off a ticket to that game. All coats donated will be given to Sharing and Caring Hands.
Sponsored by Pilgrim Cleaners, the Timberwolves, and Channel 4.